Who is the new person? Asta Soni. Okay. Now you can see here it is. Yeah, this is the our PPT, PC hardware PPT. I think so. As I've seen last checked PPT it is. Okay, these are the PPT part. Remove this one. So I'm doing things from my home. Okay. So recording is already started, guys. Why this is so much? See, this is a basic block diagram of a computer. So this is a CPU, means it is a small chipset. It is CPU. Memory means RAM and ROM kind of stuff. Primary memories. Input devices and output devices. So you give input from input devices to your computer, your CPU. CPU process it and take some information with the help of some memory, or to it will store a data into memory store thing, or retrieve the data from memory and for a processing purpose. Once it is process completed, so either it will store into the secondary memories or it will show on the your output devices. That is a basic the block diagram. Traditional basic block diagram it is. Okay. So next one is different PC components we use in the networking. Different PC components we use in our hardware. CPU, central processing unit, that is we call it as a processor. Okay. So a lot of people think CPU means this box or this box. This box is a cabinet, guys. The outer box, the empty box, it is a cabinet. Inside this cabinet, we can insert our motherboard. On motherboard, CPU is there. Not only a motherboard, also RAM, on also hard disk, CD-ROMs, okay, SMPS, everything is we can fit in this cabinet. Okay, we'll connect the devices like keyboard, mouse, and monitor from here. 1 second. Okay. Next, yeah, CPU, RAM, random access memory, ROM, read-only memory, which is nothing but our BIOS chip. Okay, so a lot of people know RAM and also name ROM. But what is actually ROM on your computer? Where is your ROM in this one? It is nothing but your BIOS chip. Your main motherboard, okay, motherboard which connects all the components like a CPU, RAM, ROM, everything is there on motherboard. Every device of a computer or a laptop connected to motherboard only. Either it is a keyboard, or it can be a mouse, or it can be a SMPS, or it can be a hard disk, CD-ROM, anything. It is connected to motherboard only. It connects all the components of a computer. And secondary storage devices like a hard disk, CD-ROM, SSDs. These are all secondary storage devices. Earlier days we are using hard disk, still we are using hard disk. Of course, to nowadays the SSDs become more popular. People are using SSD to store the data for a computer. Right? And SMPS and floppy disk. Floppy disk is removed now. So if you want to buy any computer, no floppy disk drive, no floppy disk options are not there. Okay, floppy disk is actually removed. Maybe in a separate like a even if you want to buy a new computer, mostly CD DVD kind of stuff also they're not providing. Okay, and next other
Excuse me, sir.
components. You tell me.
Sir, I got logged out from my phone, sir, just because of network issue. Sir, is my attendance done, Sujit Kumar?
Last one is Sujit Kumar, right?
Yes, sir,
Sujit.
I got logged out.
Okay, we'll check it once again. Otherwise, Sujit Kumar done.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Could you just some people, your batch 4 people got woke up. Hmm. Hmm. All batches drama. So version test and no version test. Score, no score. It's a big headache to deal your HCL batches. Okay, so other than this internal component outside of PC, we are connecting through your keyboard. We will connect input device, mouse is a pointer device, output device is for a display purpose, monitor. Okay, so next is printer scanners. What is a printer? So you have a document. You have a document. You taken a print. You have a document. You have a document in your computer that is called a soft copy. You have taken a printout that is called a hard copy. For example, you have some document or a picture on your hand, okay, in a hard copy. Now you want to put it into the computer, so you scan it and you put it in a computer, right? So that is called a scanner. Means printer converts soft copy to hard copy, scanner converts hard copy to soft copy. So of course we use touchpads, touch screens, laptop having a touchpads. Just like for a instead of mouse we can use touchpad kind of stuff. Okay, and some people use touch screens, means computers, laptops, touch screens are there, so it's so easy to give input like a pointer device, pointing purpose. Touchpads, touch screens, mouses, three are a pointing devices only. Mic and speakers, so if you speak your mic will receive and convert into electrical signal, then binary means analog to digital format it will convert. Speaker, so you play a song or you are hearing something from your speakers only. Card readers, Bluetooth devices, so Bluetooth connectivities. Okay, So external hard disk, joysticks for a game controlling purposes. So some I listed just like a LKG student only, but some people are even they never think what are the computer components means. I don't know. First answer is okay. So guys, these are simple names, simple. So I think you recollected, or maybe you know you got the points. Okay, CPU, RAM, ROM, motherboard, hard disk, CPU, and SMPS. I'll try to clear in the single shot, but otherwise I'll make it as a two parts. Okay, the main points. So just for a main important, so 1 or 2 points at least you should know about it. Not 1 or 2 points, at least 4 to 5 points each and every basic components. Okay. So listen carefully. Okay. So first one is CPU. What is CPU? Is a central processing unit. So what we call it as a processor. So this is the central processing unit. CPUs are look like is a single chip kind of component. Okay. So different type of CPUs are available in market. Some are manufactured by Intel manufacturers are there, AMD manufacturers are there. Now you are having a mobile phone. For a mobile phone also different type of mobile processors are there, right? Snapdragon, Qualcomm, Snapdragon, MediaTek, okay, Exynos something is there, Xenos, okay, A15, okay, these are also mobile processors. So general awareness is also important, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a brain of computer. Semi-conductor device contains the complete CPU, central processing unit in a single chip. It performs arithmetic and logical functions. Okay. So what CPU will do? Perform arithmetic and logical functions. So when you see a CPU, when you see a CPU, so different every CPU has a certain specifications. So first of all, know about your CPU. To know about CPU, first know what is your CPU name. Okay, for example, if it is a Intel i5, i3, 7 processor kind of stuff, there is a number is there. So take this number, try in Google. Okay, for example, yeah, you can try this one, or maybe you can try any available processor. I remember one thing, so that's I will try. I have purchased i3 processor 9100F. It is a 9th generation processor. And of course, there is a 10th generation processor is also there. So the F model it is, see, the cost. Here it is, cost is increased. Sometimes cost is showing very less. So I'm going to new tab. So I put a processor model here. So I want to buy this one, or I already purchased. See how much it is processor, cache memory, 6 MB cache memory. Okay, it is a 4-core 4-thread processor, and it is a frequency, base frequency is 3.6 gigahertz, 6 MB smart cache memory, bus speed, how much wattage consumption it will take, use it. Okay, what is the maximum RAM capacity it support? 64 GB, up to 64 GB it will support. Memory type DDR4 2400 model you have to required. For example, I want to buy this RAM for this processor. So it is given a RAM model. So this is the RAM model. So I will go to Amazon or Flipkart or anything. So I want to buy, so like this. But this is not a original package because it is a sodium package. I don't want sodium package. I want a normal regular RAM. 16 GB is still sodium package. Guys, remember sodium means it is a laptop RAM. DIMM means desktop RAM. Desktop RAMs are look like this one. So like this, like this. So this is a desktop RAM. So it is longer or larger, what we can say, like this. Okay, it is a desktop RAM. So suddenly why these desktop RAMs become a lesser cost, but it is not suitable. Can you see? It is 2666 megahertz per one. I want a 2400 model. Okay, so that is a thing. So that is must be a match kind of stuff. 5 DDR5 model is also came. DDR5 16 GB 4800 model. Okay, 32 GB. Whatsoever it is. So you want to buy this one, then you can try a desktop RAM. This is a desktop processor, so you will get a desktop RAM like this. So compulsory you have to check the matching part. So 2400 Samsung 8 GB but sodium package. Desktop RAM, this is laptop RAM. So this is a laptop RAM but Fury. Okay, so you will know about your CPU. How much FSB it will support, what is the maximum RAM capacity it will support. Okay, what is their pin configuration, what is their pin configuration. Based on this you can able to buy a motherboard. Okay, you purchase of this processor, you purchased this processor, but you have to purchase a motherboard, right? So to purchase the motherboard, so you need a details supporting socket 1151. And this motherboard, which device, this motherboard support kind of stuff also you can try it. 1151, but it is not Amazon.in, it is Amazon.com. So eat your bite. Intel.com, Amazon.com. Hmm. So somewhere like you can buy directly Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, so that is the main thing. Okay, next one is we always talk about virtualization technologies. There are not, yes, virtualization technology, yes. This is something SIPP. We don't know what it is, but there are a lot of features are there now. It is showing now. It is showing yes. This is showing yes. This is showing now. Like this feature is you are not there. If this feature is there, it is a 64-bit, of course. So you can see instruction set 64-bit, Intel 64, yes. You can see these techniques are not there. No hyperthreading, okay, no transaction synchronization technique. So if you don't know what it is, click here, it will tell some information about it. Okay guys, very simple. I am trying to say is if you want to buy a processor, so when you are search for a processor, okay, so first search about that processor in a intel.com or a amd.com based on what is their manufacturer details. Find out from the manufacturer details what is their compatibilities. So then you can choose their RAMs, motherboards, kind of stuff. Okay, so speed is important. So here it is. What is the base speed? It is 3.6 gigahertz speed. Next, width, it is a 32-bit or a 64-bit processor. FSB defined. FSB is a depends on this one. Okay, front side bus. The front side bus of a processor and the RAM frequency must be matches. So that is the details. Cache memory. Every processor has a a cache memory is there, right? So L3 cache memory is there. So this is 6 MB cache memory. So number of processor per core, number of threads are a logical processor per core. So you can see here it is. I want to buy this one, or I already purchased, of course. So where is the number of cores details? Number of cores are 4 core processor it is, number of threads are 4. Piyush also came. Okay. So number of cores are 4, number of threads are 4. Just I'm showing this and that one. Virtualization technologies enable or not. Guys, nowadays you purchasing a laptop or a desktop, okay, whatever the processor it is, please check the virtualization facilities there or not. It is a 64-bit processor and virtualization technology is there inside your processor. Why? Because of not only virtual machine kind of stuff, nowadays you have to learn a lot of things in the next levels, right? For example, you want to learn Docker. Docker is also a virtualization related one only. Only thing is, in a normal virtualization platforms like you have a VMware workstation or a Oracle VM virtual boxes, there you are using a virtual machine concept there. But if in case, if you are using a Docker, the Docker is also virtual machine concept, virtualization concept is there. So better to have a built-in virtualization technology in your processor. It can be your processor can be Intel or AMD, but better to check these uh, things from the processor. Okay, and for a mobile phone, different type of processors is also there. Guys, I told about 32-bit or a 64-bit processor. Okay, so every processor from Intel, so there is a 4004 processor is there. That is the first processor. It is a 4-bit processor. It means so every processor has a certain bit kind of stuff. 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, or a 64-bit processors are there. 64-bit processor. Nowadays we are all using 64-bit processor. So compulsory if you are using a 32-bit processor or a 64-bit processor, you have to maintain same type of operating system. Means 32-bit processor, 32-bit operating system. 64-bit processor, 64-bit operating system. Okay, the device drivers also same architecture you should maintain. Applications also better to maintain same bit. Better to maintain same bit. But if you are using 32-bit, your machine is 32-bit means you can install 32-bit application or a 16-bit application also sometimes work. But better is 32-bit application. 64 won't work in 32. Your system is 64-bit system, so it runs both 64-bit applications and 32-bit application. But preferably 64 is suitable. Okay, what is this 64-bit and what is the advantage of using 64-bit kind of stuff? So instruction set means guys, you have a processor, you have a computer. What is the use of computer? You will give some instruction to the computer and it do that job. Okay, so you give a instructions to your computer. Or some built-in instructions are there, or maybe through your programming applications you give instruction to your computer. Okay, the length of the instruction set is 64-bit in the 64-bit processor, 32-bit in a 32-bit system. Okay, so the size of instruction set is increases. Data is also 32-bit wise data, means the length, the each data part length is 64-bit in 64-bit type system. Advantage of this one, what is instruction set, guys? So we'll give a task by using certain instructions. Okay, so because of compared to 32-bit 64, it is a bigger size of instruction set and data set. Okay, so we can give more complex instructions, big size data we can able to process, but we require more RAM and disk space. Example, you want to install Windows 10, it is a 32-bit type system, 1 GB RAM is enough minimum. Okay, okay, 32-bit system, 1 GB RAM, Windows 10. To install Windows 10, it is a 32-bit. If it is a 32-bit type system, minimum 1 GB RAM is enough. If in case you are using a 64-bit, if you are using a 64-bit type of system, you want to install Windows 10, minimum 2 GB RAM is required. Okay, same for a minimum disk requirement, minimum hard disk space requirement is for Windows 10. For 32-bit type of system, 16 GB is enough. But 64-bit, it required 20 GB disk space. Meaning is, guys, instruction set length is also increases, data length is increases. So we required more RAM capacity and disk space also. But we can give more complex instruction set. We can speed up our processing by using 64-bit machine. Multi-core processing is possible. Nowadays, we are using 2-core processor, 4-core processor, 8-core processor kind of processor, and logical processors inside. Also, we are implementing, right? 2-core, 4-thread processor, 4-core, 8-thread processor is also there. It is also possible more in the 64-bit. Okay, so not only nowadays 64-bit also comes with the supporting of UEFI BIOS version. Okay, so it's world days we are having a BIOS. Nowadays we are having UEFI. So, device drivers digital signature enforcement is there compulsory. You have to use genuine device drivers, digitally signed drivers only you should use it. And most of the 64-bit processors, okay, very recent last 3-4 years 5 years processors are comes with 64-bit processor having a virtualization technologies. What is this virtualization technology, guys? For example, you take my laptop is a having Windows 10 operating system in it, but I want to work with Linux system, so I can run Linux operating system in my Windows 10 in virtual machines. How it is possible? Because of virtualization technology in my processor. Okay, so guys, you run an operating system in your physical machine, that is my Windows 10 is a host operating system. If you are running an operating system in virtual machine, so that operating system is a guest operating system. That's what it is. We can run multiple type of guest operating system on a single physical machine. That is the main use of this virtualization technology in the processor. Not only that, such as 64-bit virtual machine. 64-bit virtual machine means 64-bit virtual machine and operating system we can run on a single physical machines. You know, when usually your batches do not have any practical parts, but practical sessions are not there. But if I going to take a class for any cognizant batches, okay, practical sessions are there. Mainly three. One is Linux practicals. Linux machines have to install and show them how to install Linux, how to practice on Linux machines, Linux administration. Next one is Windows 10. How to install Windows 10, what are the features of Windows 10, then Windows servers. What are the features of Windows servers? Okay, how to install Windows server, how to communicate from server to client, how to add a client to domain. These are the practical DHCP server, DNS server practicals. I have to do it. I can't do it directly by purchasing multiple machines, right? So I will use, because I have a 12 GB RAM, i5 processor, so and enough of additional hard disk space is also there. So I will create a virtual machine using VMware Workstation or a virtual box. I will do practice on it and I will show that practicals to the students. Okay, so that is the power of virtualization. So I told so many things, very simple guys. 64-bit processor having 64-bit size of instruction length and data size is also 64-bit. We can run more complex instruction set, more complex instructions we can run. Okay, and we can run big data size also. What we require more RAM and disk capacities to work with these 64-bit systems. Multi-core processing is support, and the recent BIOS version is UEFI, that is also support to digital device, digital signature device, this drivers digital signature is there. Virtualization technology, guest voice kind of stuff. Okay, one small point about a CPU, guys. Okay, what is about a CPU point? Guys, every CPU is get overheated. It will get heated when it is running. Every CPU is get heated when it is running. So when we put how to cool it. So on processor there is a heat sink. So this heat sink will absorb the heat from your processor. Heat sink will absorb the heat from the processor. And there is a heat sink fan. You can see there is a heat sink fan on it. Okay, so whenever this heat sink absorb the heat, that heat sink fan will remove the heat from your, make it cool. It will cool the heat sink. So like that, on your on inside your CPU, in your CPU, it maintain a constant temperature. Not very not very cool, but not overheated. Okay, so it maintain the temperature. And also we are using a thermal paste between your processor and heat sink. There is a thermal paste. So if your processor is getting heated, this thermal paste will give more heat to this heat sink, and okay, so that will be getting cooled by your fan. So obviously heat sink is useful for the total heat sink paste, heat sink, and the heat sink fan. Use it to make a temperature constant, lower the temperature, maintaining the temperature in the CPU. Okay, so what is this remaining paragraph, guys? Sometimes few things will happen. Maybe the heat sink fan is not working. Maybe there is a lot of dust on your heat sink, or maybe the heat sink is not seated on your processor properly, or a heat sink paste is cleaned from on the your processor. So what will happen? Your processor will get overheated. To protect your processor from overheated, means overheat, what will happen? It burns the processor. To protect it, okay, if processor is getting overheated, processor will burn. To protect it not to burn, system will restart your PC multiple times. Means you start a computer, it is started and restarted. It is started and restarted. Started, restarted. It's keep restarting your system, because to protect your system from PC. So what you will do? It won't generate any warnings or a blue screen of or a blue screen of death kind of stuff does not show on your screen. Okay. So what it will do? Very simple. You start a computer, CPU is getting overheated, it restart your computer. Again, CPU is overheated, it restart your computer. So if it is not showing any errors, so better to know, stop everything in your computer. Okay, check the heat sink and motherboard related. So if more dust is there, please clean the dust, because of dust is also there. And make sure that heatsink is sitting on your processor, heatsink piece stays there, and heatsink fans also running well. Guys, because of time limit, I'm unable to show a lot of things. um, if you see normal computer we are talking, right? But in your laptop also, you can type in Google laptop heatsink, heatsink fans. Okay, you can see how laptop and heatsink is there in a laptop, how heatsink is there. Guys, in a laptop, so you can see there is a vents, either bottom of the laptop and side of the laptop or back side of the laptop, either left or right, or a back side of your laptop or and bottom of the laptop. Do not put your laptop on bed, on cloth. Okay, so why? Because of cloth absorbs lot of dust from outside. Okay, even leathers. Some people put, I my sofa is a leather. It is not a cloth one. Even there is a lot of dust on it. First one is cloth type is having more dust. The dust is went inside your laptop through those vents, means small holes and all then those kind of stuff. Also, these cloth, leathers, papers will block these vents. And also we this is a laptop. Originally name is there. Desktop we can put it on a desk. Laptop we can put it on a laptop. Palm top we can put it on a palm, means our palm we can able to fit it in your hand, palm top. Okay, so laptop is for a lap purpose, but don't put it on your laptop, on your lap. There is two dangerous thing. Okay, one is laptop produce lot of heat. You put it on a on lap, so it will damages your internal organs. Okay, mainly the nearest to that laptop organs are there now, so those will be damaged because it is heavy heat. That is okay, you die, no problem, I don't mind about it. Okay, so your organs are damaged, I don't mind about. Problem is your lab, means your clothes or your skin block the vents. Okay, because of you are blocking the vents, so heat is unable to escape from your laptop. So what it will do? It generates lot of heat now. Because of you are blocking events, it is generating lot of heat. The heat is harming you. Plus, because of that heat, your battery will be damaged and it just start generating more heat. Because of this all heat, the computer internal components will damage. Not only a processor and other small components also will be damaged. In a plastic also will damage. So guys, do not keep your laptops on laps, beds, leathers, suitcases, kind of stuff. Not required any fan kind of stuff. Don't need to put all laptop stand fan kind of stuff. Better to put on a simple a table mate kind of stuff. Okay, it's some table, no problem. So make it sure in the bottom and the sides of the laptops, means left side, right side, back side, and bottom of the laptop having a enough space to escape the heat. Okay, so that's my point and the troubleshooting tip. Yes, understandable or something like other one. No response.
Understandable, sir.
Okay. So I will tell about RAM and ROM, then we'll take a small break and we'll back. Okay, so we'll continue. And RAM and ROM difference is important. Hard disk,
Sir, I
SSD is
want
also
to
important.
know about that. Sir, now these days, which is best for our computer memory? It is best like SDD or HDD one. So what is the best for our like
Both
PCs?
required.
Both required. Okay, sir.
Both required. If you are having a desktop, so you have a beautiful chance of both installation. Laptops based on a company.
Okay, sir.
SSD, yeah. Anyway, you ask a question. Remember, guys, this point also because that is also difference. SSDs are costly. Hard disk is comparatively cheaper,
Cheap.
right?
Okay,
SSD
sir.
is faster compared to hard disk. SSD is cost compared to hard disk. SSD is faster as compared to hard disk. SSD is smaller as compared to hard disk. SSD consumes less power compared to hard disk. Next, SSDs mainly for operating system and applications, not for a regular data. Nowadays we are having a YouTube and other streaming medias. Olden days, we download a movies, songs, right? That time we don't have any mobile phones also. Mobile kind of stuff, smart mobile phone, these many facilities are not there, right? But that time we download lot of movies, songs, documents are there, videos are there, video materials also there, right? So lot of data is random data is so much data is there. Even I'm having virtual machines, lot of virtual machines, around a 500 GB, only virtual machine data is there. So where can I put it? If I put it in SSD, costly. Then we have to put it in a regular hard disk only. So for storing regular data is hard disk is always best. You want a faster boot up, faster application response. SSD is best. So I understand both are important. So you want to save
Okay.
proper money. Okay. Faster booting, faster application access, SSDs, and you want to store a data better, store in a hard disk. So if you have both, we can manage both are good.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
So, but companies are cheating now. You want to buy a laptop, 240 GB SSD. No, nothing, no remaining option. Okay. So you want 512 GB, 500 GB SSD, or 1 tera. You want more storage, 1 terabyte of SSD. So they are not there earlier. Few 2 years back, 10th generation laptops are came, right? i5 10th generation, i3 10th generation. It is SSD plus hard disk facilities given. Now only SSDs. You want additional storage? Open your backside laptop, put SSD. Okay, so that's
Yes.
the problem. It's a business. In their point, it is business. Okay. Okay, guys, the RAM and ROM and SSD and hard disk. Now just I finish on SSD and hard disk. Compulsory, guys. That is also one very basic question. RAM and ROM, random access memory, ROM, read-only
And
memory.
one question,
RAM
sir.
store data temporary. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is window registry?
Windows registry.
Yes, sir.
Remember, then I will tell. Okay, so other people will disturb. So that's why I'm not telling.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so continue to they think I went somewhere. SSD and hard disk is no problem. Okay, little while. Okay, so RAM and ROM, guys, these two are a primary memories. CPU is a central processing unit. Primary memory is RAM and ROM. RAM is a main memory. If you see anywhere, main memory means RAM. Primary memory means RAM and ROM. Okay, random access memory, read-only memory. RAM stores data temporarily. RAM is a volatile memory. What is volatile? What is volatile? Not what is RAM, it is RAM is a volatile type of memory. What is volatile means it stores the data. The volatile memories are stored the data, but if you turn off power, okay, you switch off or turn off or power off the device, the data will be lost. So no power, data is gone from the volatile memories. So RAM is a volatile memory. ROM. ROM is a chip. It contains the data inside permanently. Okay, it is a non-volatile memory type. What is non-volatile memory? Even you turn off the computer, data remains in your non-volatile memory devices. What are the non-volatile memory devices? Of course, ROM is also a type of non-volatile memory. Also, your hard disk, SSDs, pen drives, SD cards. You store a data in pen drive, you connect it to the system, you store the data, you remove the pen drive, right? And you connect the data so that whenever you connect, you can see the data inside, right? So same thing. So non-volatile memories. Okay. So ROM is a non-volatile memory, RAM is a volatile memory. What is volatile memory? When power is down, data is lost. What is non-volatile memory? Even if you shut down your computer, so you can still data remains in the non-volatile memory devices. Or even if power is off, data will be available in the guys. RAM is a changeable. We can add a RAM, we can remove a RAM, we can replace the RAM. We can increase the size of the RAM, we can decrease the size of the RAM. Depends upon your CPU and motherboard. Depends upon your CPU and motherboard. You can add more RAMs or we can decrease the RAMs also. Like my laptop, when I purchased, that is came with a 4 GB RAM. Now it is 12 GB RAM because of added a 8 GB to it. But my processor support up to 16 GB. So my laptop already having 4 plus added a 8. So total it is become 12 GB. But ROM, originally in our computer, ROM is a chip on your motherboard. So we cannot replace or add additional ROM chip, additional RAM chip, additional ROM chip, or replacing of ROM chip is generally we don't do it. Okay, because it is fixed on a motherboard. RAM is we can able to replace. So this is the RAM and ROM differences, guys. So small part about RAM, then we'll take a break because I want to tell about BIOS. So BIOS comes under ROM. Okay, RAM and ROM differences. About RAM, again, RAM is a main memory, random access memory. It stores data temporarily. Okay, it is a volatile memory. So when power is goes off, data will be gone. RAMs are two types, guys, static RAM and dynamic RAM. Static RAM is also called SRAM, and SRAM is a faster than DRAM. Okay, SRAM is a faster than DRAM, means dynamic RAM. SRAM used as a cache memory which is built inside of CPU. When you see the CPU properties, L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache. These cache memories are actually SRAMs, which is built inside your CPU. We are using DRAM types only. These DRAMs are different type of DRAMs are there. SDRAM, ECC RAM, EDO RAM, VRAM, different type of DRAMs are there. So important is from DRAM to SDRAM, SDRAM to DDR. Okay, the dynamic RAMs are DRAM, DRAM to SDRAM, synchronous dynamic RAM. And this synchronous dynamic RAM further develop into DDR SDRAM, double data rate synchronous dynamic RAM. Then this DDR is further developed into DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5 is also came into market. DDR5 is very fresh one, so it's support for a on a new very certain 12th generations i3, i5, i7 processor support is there. Okay, into that you have to compulsory check the matching. So up to DDR5 is available in market. So DDR4 mostly we are using nowadays, but my laptop is having DDR3, old, very old one. But current version is DDR4 is still in the market. DDR5 is also came into the market. Okay guys, this is static RAM and dynamic RAM. So when you see a RAM, first important is size of the RAM, we'll see it in MBs, GBs, TBs, right? And next one is the frequency, means clock speed. So 33 megahertz, 1600, just before I showed that is 2400 model, 2666, 3200, 3400, 4200, 4800 kind of models also there in the market. Okay, different models DDR3, DDR4, DDR5 with a different clock frequencies are there and different voltage levels also there. Guys, you want to add a RAM or you want to remove a RAM, means you want to add a RAM or you want to replace a RAM. Okay, to upgrade a RAM, compulsory you have to check your CPU support, motherboard support, and also voltage levels of your previous RAMs also important. Guys, if you want to add a RAM or you want to replace a RAM, please check the existing RAM. So if you follow the existing RAM properties, it is very easy to add the RAM. More matchable RAM we can able to add it. Okay, so that is important. And remember guys, if you have a laptop or a desktop, your RAM is DDR3. Now you want to replace the DDR3 with the DDR4. We cannot replace. Okay, we cannot replace. You cannot replace DDR3 with the DDR4. You cannot replace DDR4 with a DDR5 or a DDR3. Okay, so one model RAM, that's it. Okay, motherboard depends upon motherboard and CPU support. RAM is there. Okay, you cannot replace one model RAM with the other model. It not fit. So these are the points. So like these are the certain RAMs. Remember, SODIMM means SODIMM, small outline. SODIMM packages for laptops and mini PCs. DIMM packages usually for our desktops. RIM type of packages, RAM bus inline memory module type packages, are usually gaming PCs, like a RAM with additional heat sink on it. Okay, kind of stuff. Yeah, we know the static RAM used as a cache memory like this. Guys, I showed in a starting one block diagram, but that block diagram is, this is the original block diagram for mainly how actually process it is. That is traditional block diagram. This is how process it is. Guys, this is a CPU, RAM, IO controllers, and our IO devices, means input devices and output devices, storage devices. Everything is communicate or connects through IO controller. This IO controller will give the data to the RAM. RAM give the data to cache memory to CPU. CPU process according to the input and give it to the cache, load it to the cache memory to CPU, CPU to your IO controllers, IO controller to your IO devices. That is one line process. It is not a this side data, that side data, input data to CPU, CPU to output. That is won't happen. Everything is loaded to your IO controller. IO controller knows what is the input device, who is the output device, where it is located, what is their addresses. IO controller maintain input devices and output devices, their IO memory locations, addresses, IRQ numbers. Okay. In every motherboard having a north bridge and south bridge, but current motherboards are having a north bridge plus south bridge, only single chip is there. Okay, what is this north bridge and south bridge, guys? North bridge will maintain the communication between your processor and RAM. South bridge will maintain the communication between RAM and other peripherals, means other devices will that communication will maintained by south bridge. But north bridge is mainly communication between CPU and RAM communication. It will maintain the CPU and RAM communication. Okay. So what is this cache, guys? Cache is built inside your CPU. It is SRAM, which make process faster. Okay, like it is a wicket keeper type. Okay, so cache memory. In the cache memory of a processor, three cache levels are there: L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache. In L1 and L2, we have a instruction and data cache is also there. Means you have a L1 cache, which is divided into instruction cache and data cache. Whenever you check the CPU details, we'll check the L3 cache memory mainly. Okay, so higher the cache memory, faster processing is also possible. Okay, as compared to RAM, cache memory is faster. It is as fast as your CPU. Okay, so it load the data like this, guys. So I hope you got little bit fine. So next one is ROM BIOS. Okay, the BIOS settings and CMOS batteries, motherboard, hard disk, your SMPS, hard disk part is also there. Okay, so those details, basic details, at least we'll see some what is SATA, what is PATA kind of stuff. Basic only. I will try to complete. Okay, guys, take a break for just 5-10 minutes.